What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the week of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit chat about everything to do with film for the first half of the episode, that is. I am joined as always by my best man, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
Good, Conor. I've been running the numbers and I've got some ideas about the show.
Okay. Is in terms of improvements or things to make it worse?
Improvements, Conor.
Oh,
so what
okay.
I've determined, looking at everything, all the statistics, the facts, we're too silly. The people want serious, straight down the line news reporting, and that's what they're going to get this week.
So what we're saying, no bits.
No bits, just cold, hard talking.
Okay. My follow-up to this is, what happens halfway through the episode, Shaun?
Well, usually we go into weird news.
Where we talk about all the strangest news stories from around the world, news that weird news or the real news is too afraid to talk about, that kind of stuff.
That's it. And look, I think there's opportunity there that we can approach that in a serious way. You know,
start
take humour out of it.
Murders and stuff.
This is it, they're out of the ordinary. I think it's worth it that we talk about murder.
We'll be the first podcast to talk about a murder.
In a segment called Weird News.
There's no murder mystery podcast right now.
Not at all, Conor.
It's a niche in America.
Do you know what? I've been running the numbers. That could be one we could...
You need to stop running numbers because you can't count.
All right, back to bits.
And I know you can't run.
Hey, just why would you say something so hurtful and so true?
No, one of his knees 100% healthy, fucking flying it.
Yeah.
The other knee, one of his knees is super healthy.
Put me on a circular track, I'll be great. Actually, most tracks are circular, aren't they?
You'd beat Usain Bolt on a very small circular track.
Yeah, I get him on in a step. I'd beat him.
So, Shaun, as I said, this is the Heroes for Hire podcast. If it's your first episode, you don't have to do anything. Just chill out. If it's your second or above, also first episode, we're sorry. Second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you want to support the show. We are currently going for 150 5-star reviews on Spotify before when?
Before the summer solstice.
I forgot. I forgot what we said. I don't ask us why we picked that date. I panicked and said a date. So
and now we're locked into between the 21st and 23rd of June.
We can make it up. So before then, we want to get to 150 5-star reviews over on Spotify. So if you haven't, we'd really appreciate even just clicking the little 3 dots at the top. Then just click rate show. You can give the 5 stars there. Or if you have a second account, and who I have 17 of them currently on the go.
I've got 18 because I care more.
You've run the numbers.
I've been running the numbers. And more is better, it turns out.
And so, look, that's all still to come. Weird News is going to be in about 45 minutes. There's a timestamp down below if you want to go there. That's going to be straight shooting talking this week, no bits. So that's something to look forward to.
Enjoy that, listeners.
If you like movie reviews, we reviewed Batman and Robin over on our Patreon. The 1997 amazing movie. If you've ever seen it.
Amazing year.
Ice to see you, Batman, he says. What killed the dinosaur? The Ice Age. It's a classic.
Oh, we do rank all of the puns for what it's worth.
We do actually rank all of his puns, yes. So none of that, enough of all that stuff, because it's now time to get into the big news story of the week. And they say you should start off with your second biggest and then work ahead. But I've this week started with the news that everybody's talking about. There was a little trailer that dropped, featuring a family. You're trying to see how I'm going to pull the rug. And I'm actually not going to pull the rug.
He's not pulling a rug. Okay, I was fully expecting us to talk about something terrible.
Shaun was genuinely flinching. It was going to hit him.
I was waiting for it, and now it's Jurassic World Rebirth.
I was actually going to do that bit, and then I pulled out of it.
Could be someone's first episode. They want hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah, so they're not aware, Shaun. I've ran the numbers. It might be somebody's first. So the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer has finally come out, and this was during last week. Already got 200 million views in the first day, so there's clearly a bit of an audience for this.
Yeah. The biggest trailer launch for Marvel, or one of the biggest?
I don't know if it was the biggest, but it was definitely like top 5, top 3 or whatever. Yeah. I think Endgame and Infinity War always kind of take that number. Or Spider-Man No Way Home, maybe.
Yeah, true.
But Shaun, I want to very quickly just kind of ask you a very simple question of what did you think as a Marvel boy of the Fantastic Four trailer?
I really liked it, and I think I'm excited for this movie.
Are you excited? Are you excited about a movie?
Look, it's rare that it happens these days.
Especially a Marvel movie, they've broken your heart so many times.
I've been burned too many times, but like this movie has. Yeah, Conor, I've been teaching you slang.
Don't say the words.
I've been teaching you slang lately. This movie has aura, is how I would describe it.
I thought you were going to say the sauce.
No. We don't know yet if the film has the sauce.
We don't know if it has the sauce, but it has a bottle full of sauce that we don't know what it is.
Yeah, but this movie, it looks different than anything we've seen before. I like this weird retro future 60s thing that they're doing with the Fantastic Four.
And you know what? It's a choice. I very much like it. They've gone in a direction. It's super weird. I mean, the question then becomes, how long will they be in this 60s world? Because I assume it's like a I was going to say multinational, multiversal.
You know,
multiversal thing where I don't know what Earth they're on, and they're going to probably figure out a way to get them back into the main thing. Now look, the main talk is that we see a man with a big hat at the end of this trailer.
Yes.
And he looks hungry. And he is, as far as I can tell, I don't know that villain, because the villain I know of Galactus is a big cloud man, like the fog.
Of course, and that is the traditional representation of Galactus. So they're taking some liberties.
Every Galactus movie I've ever seen, he's been a fog. That's what I would say. And so when I seen him with a hat, I thought, who's this guy? This is weird. I'm not quite sure. What do you think about Galactus and his big hat?
I mean, I fucking love it. Like the shot of him looking over the Statue of Liberty, and he's huge.
Yeah, he's like 9 million feet tall.
Yeah, we don't see if he's wearing his little shorts yet, but that will come with time.
You know what? That would be the biggest plot twist of all time if they went like 1970s Galactus and like put him in his little shorts.
Little purple booty shorts. That's all I want.
Give it to me, Marvel.
Then you will have the sauce. No, I'm hyped to see just the scale of that. Do you remember the scale of the Celestial from Eternals, that movie that everyone loves?
I do remember when a big Eternal came out of the Earth and then was never mentioned again.
Yeah, until Captain America comes out, and they ham-fist vibranium into it. But I love the scale of all that cosmic stuff. And so and traditionally a big Fantastic Four villain, Galactus. So it could go so many ways with this. Like, this could be how they could lose and then they get stranded in between universes or something like that, and then they go to the main Marvel universe or something.
I have heard another theory.
Go ahead.
And that is the Doom in this universe. So
RDJ.
I'm going to say Doom. RDJ is Doom in this movie.
Robert Doomey Jr.
Robert Doomey Jr., right?
Robert Downey Jr., is that better?
Doomer. There's something there. But he is...
Downey? There we go.
So he is Doom in this movie. Is there a case that he will only be Doom for this one movie? And then perhaps there's like this weird thing where Doom put the family in the 60s and like... they were always, say, part of the mainline universe, but Doom has like fucked with them and put them in a different universe and like put them back in time and like made them lose all their memories or whatever.
That's possible, that it's all a construct. That wouldn't be out of Doom's wheelhouse either. That's
the kind of shithousery he really loves.
Yeah. I've also heard a theory that Franklin Richards is going to play a big part in it.
And do you think he created the universe?
He could, yeah. And like, maybe Galactus beat their old universe, and so Franklin just sucked them all into this little pocket universe, which he has done before. It's called Marvel Heroes Reborn, and it's terrible. But
if anyone doesn't know, who is Franklin Richards?
He is the son of Reed Richards and Susan Storm, and he can create, he can alter reality.
He's God.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And he's a child, so maybe he's say it's nice theorising about Marvel stuff again. This is what this show was built on.
I can see the joy in your eyes. I'm just asking you questions, just setting you up.
It's just fun, and
because we've had so many years of you being like, I don't give a fuck, man. This is not good.
I know, and then I get one crumb of quality, and I'm like, yes.
No, actually, no. I think that's mean. It's not that it's not good. I think we've just gotten to the point of, but like, cool, I suppose. I mean, it's fine.
They stopped telling stories and started looking for money, but it feels like maybe they're telling some stories again.
And are they telling stories? Are they, is the question, Shaun. So they might have Franklin. You might have Doom that sets us up. Maybe they're going to go with the kind of more predictable way. And they are set in the 60s. Galactus is about to eat the whole planet. And Reed Richards is like, let's get everyone off of this universe, get them into a different universe. That would be the most by the numbers way to do it. Galactus is obviously, if you don't know, Galactus is as the bad guy in this movie. And if he's not a fog all the time, but sometimes he is. But sometimes he's a big man who likes to eat planets.
Yes.
And I know what you're thinking. That seems like a bit of that's pretty big for movie one to have guy who eats planets versus man who can stretch. And you would be correct. But
it is. It's a wild move.
It's a bold strategy. And we were like, how do you defeat Galactus in movie one? I suppose the easiest way is they don't defeat him. He shows up, he eats the planet. Reed Richards' last ditch attempt gets the family off the planet. Different universe. And
maybe then they show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars or whatever it is.
That's how you bring them straight into the modern Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I think that could be the case. I also think Sue Storm is pregnant in this trailer, and they've edited it out with CGI.
Oh, okay.
And I think Franklin gets born in space because Reed says the first time we went up, we got all these powers. And so I think Franklin, for some reason, they're in space while they're giving birth to Franklin, and that's why Franklin gets cosmic powers.
What are the odds?
Twice? Really?
Twice?
Ben Grimm looks fucking fantastic.
I wanted to ask you about Ben Grimm. Now look, we are also the biggest fans in the world of original Ben Grimm. I'm going to say original Ben Grimm, 2005's Ben Grimm, Michael Chiklis.
We're chickheads, that's true.
We are serious chickheads around here, and I'll be honest with you, Chiklis comes up on this podcast more than any other actor.
It's Chiklis and Ted Elliott are our unsung heroes that we just give a platform to.
I don't know how many times we mentioned Chiklis and then we go on a big rant about the Shield and just how Chiklis is such a good guy. But Chiklis, I think that suit did have, Shaun, an aura.
Indeed it did, Connor. Indeed
is that how you use it?
Yeah, you're not far off.
It's close.
Yeah, it's going to make sense.
The sauce?
It has a sauce more than it has aura.
Okay. So, I mean, that is still kind of warm to my heart, even though it looks bad. But it's still it's a big rock man.
Yeah, but I think it definitely looks better than Fan Four Stick 2015.
Everything looks better than Fan Four Stick. Jesus Christ.
True. What I will say, I think part of why the Chiklis suit works so well is that it's mostly his eyes in it, and he can really emote through that. Well,
I mean, Chiklis is the greatest actor working in Hollywood. Of course he can emote.
Of course. Have you seen The Shield? But
have you seen that 2007 show where he's in a super family? I can't remember the name.
Yeah, fuck. It's fine, don't worry about it. But the new thing, it's more comic accurate, so his eyes are real small. I like Ibn Moss Bacharach's voice. I like how it's not all gravelly, for want of a better word.
Strategy to have him tasting food as step one of introducing him, because
cousin.
we just all know him as cousin, so it made me laugh, that kind of brief introduction. The CGI, by the way, this is not the final CGI. They're going to be finalising this completely. They probably did work quite hard on this trailer to get this as finished as possible. I think it looks quite good.
I think it looks quite good as well, and it can only get better. I think there's a reason we don't see Mr. Fantastic stretching in this, because
Mr. Fantastic stretching is the hardest thing to pull off.
Yeah, it's a miracle that those Fantastic Four movies from 2005 and 2007,
I think so, yeah,
they do as best as they can. And they kind of get away because he is rubbery, so it can look rubbery, you know?
Yeah, rubber is just really hard to animate and still kind of make it look real in a way.
It still has to exist in that world. He can't just become a cartoon character.
Because that CGI, that animation really peaked with Ivan Ooze in 1995's Power Rangers movie.
Of course,
and
Connor.
They've been it's kind of like the Planet of the Apes movies, and that they've been copying that animation ever since. Because obviously can't get any better. But it's tough. It's tough to kind of replicate and still make Pedro Pascal look real and that he's there if he's stretching.
Now, he does have big, long blackboard, so I'm assuming he's going to be stretching all over that, doing sums and stuff.
Yeah, all over it.
In terms of the effect, the Miss Marvel stretching effect looks good other than the fact that it's covered in weird blue-purple light all the time.
Yeah, that's a weird, but that does actually look well. You're dead right.
So just turn off that layer and then just that's your stretch.
And that's a Disney Plus show.
That's a Disney Plus show, which famously costs no money to make.
They just burn money, I think.
Yeah, to keep warm, you know.
They just burn dollars. I think the vibe was really good. I was going to mention the Thing. I really like that the Thing isn't 7 feet, 8 foot tall. Mm-hmm. He's like 6 foot. He's smaller than Reed Richards, and he's just kind of like a guy. And I think that's like the magic of the Thing as a comic book character. He's just a regular guy who has like the worst luck in the world.
Yeah, but he's also the nicest man. Like he just he cares about everyone. So I love that bit when they're like when he's going up and they're doing the video of the astronauts, and he's just a regular, he's a normal man.
Yeah, and he just so happens to be friends with known bastard Reed Richards.
Yeah, I don't think they're going the bastard angle in this.
You know what? So we've given Reed look, we're big chick heads, but we're big anti-Reed heads.
Yes.
I hate reading, is what I've said to you, Shaun, many times.
He said that outside of school, which was weird. He said that. Yeah.
But Reed Richards, if you don't really know, Fantastic Four are a loving family, but me and Sean's favourite thing is Reed Richards just being a dickhead in Fantastic Four comic books. Best shown in the panel where they all come up with their own names, and it's like I'm Johnny Blaze or whatever, I'm Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and then it's like I'm the Human Torch, whatever, right? And then he's like, I'm Mr. Fantastic, and you, Ben, you're the Thing.
Yeah.
It's so funny as a panel.
They've tried to recontextualize that a bunch in comics, and it's just like oh, I felt so guilty, and I'm Mr. Fantastic, but I'm not really that great. I'm a terrible person.
It's so funny that me and you form a superhero team, and I'm like, I'm Mr. Fucking Great, and you're big shithead.
Yeah,
right, here we go.
So, like most versions of Reed Richards, he will do anything for science.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think of Reed Richards as like he's Batman, but like multiplied. Like, he'll do the right thing, but he'll also like what he says is technically the right way to go about it, but he will kill like 10 million people to do it.
He's out of line, but he's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, this is the way that we're going. Like, this is the right way to do it. He can't understand why the Thing is like, yeah, but we shouldn't kill all those people. He's like, yeah, but if we kill them, we'll save loads of other people.
Yeah, surely there's a world where both can happen, you know? He's like, nah, this is easier.
Johnny Storm, by the way, Human Torch. It's like, I mean, what do we think of the CGI? Him jumping out of that window. You have the lens flare, Shaun.
Yeah. Oh, it looks real good. Great, great flame effect. But it also, and it's not just my memory, I went back and looked, it was pretty good in 2005 as well, that flame effect.
It's not bad. It's not, like, I think those movies are bad in terms of script.
Yes, that's where they fall down.
They fall down in the things that people say and the things that people do, but how it looks, I think, is actually not that bad. Yeah, no,
I think I like how he's much younger than Reed Richards, which I think is a good foil, and he's younger than Ben as well by quite a bit. So I think that works in terms of like the family dynamic. He is meant to be the younger brother, and it also works if they ever want to put him together with Spider-Man. They're similar enough ages, I think.
Yeah, Joseph Quinn is playing him as well. So, like, we don't really hear much about him here. Like, we have, I think Sue has, like, the bit of introduction to a lot of them, and then she's just like, oh, Johnny's just Johnny. Yeah. You know how he is.
And I like the bit where he flies up and he runs out of oxygen and starts falling.
And then falls back to Earth. That looks really cool.
Love that as Human Torch. And it's like, he does have limits, you know?
Simultaneously, I think this is all we kind of need. I don't think you need to reveal anything with any plot or anything like that.
This is billed as a teaser. And it's like, but the aura has me sold. I'm willing to see this.
I genuinely think like that's what the trailer is. Like, it's just like 60s Fantastic Four. This is kind of a brief introduction to the family, and that's kind of all you need. Yeah. And you're just like, because they are going to have RDJ's voice or RDJ pop up in one of the trailers, probably the last shot of it, and I'm like, I can see why you're doing that, because obviously you're going to do that if you paid a man $7 trillion or whatever it is. But I would be very happy with this. But then me and you are very involved. Like, we would watch this stuff. There's loads of people that probably won't.
True, yeah. Some people will need to be sold on this. Especially, like, we're excited for Fantastic Four. We like Fantastic Four. But traditionally, with film releases, Fantastic Four have not been good movies. So there's a lot of audience favour to kind of win back as well.
Two things. One, what do you think of John Malkovich?
Looks great. Red Ghost, I think he's playing.
I've no idea who that is.
He's a ex-KGB scientist, got cosmic irradiated, and now is intangible. So he can make himself solid or disperse himself and walk through walls and shit. He also sometimes controls apes, which... They got the ape CGI, so...
I love that little add-on.
I think he was researching apes, you know?
I'm imagining the comic book writers, like, they've had that character, he's been there a few times, and then, like, the fifth time they're there, they're like, fuck, what? We do have a lot of apes in this story. Do we have any villain that controls apes? Well, we could just give him that power, I suppose.
I suppose he could influence the apes, you know, he could make some suggestions.
And the last thing I want to touch on, Shaun, is the big thing. There's a lot of pressure on this movie, I would say. This is weird. I think this is the most pressure that Marvel have had on them.
Yeah, a lot hinges on Fantastic Four doing well, I think.
Which is such a strange position to be in, but it's... I mean, I also don't like it, but what I'm saying is, it feels like there's pressure.
Yeah, no, 100%. If it works, it will be hailed as a return to form. And all they need to do then is stick the landing on Doomsday and Secret Wars, which surely won't be a large task.
That's not a big task. That's fine. Smooth sailing from here.
But if this goes down, I think they don't have a backup, I think, for this not going well.
I think this is I'm not, like, you don't want to get into the situation like this is their last shot and after that nobody's going to watch any of this stuff. I think that's ridiculous. But I do feel like they need a win. They need a win and they need one quick.
And I think Captain America might underperform.
I can see that happening. It's no fault of, you know, what's Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, like, no, not at all.
Anthony Mackie's fault. Harrison Ford is out doing this press tour going, I hope they bring Red Hulk back. Like, Harrison, we both know you do not want to come back.
No. And look, it can be a CGI character and then just do the voice, you know? That's
and just
fine.
Get that money, Harrison. Fair fucks to you. But, like, I don't think that's going to do as well as they think it's going to do. And then they're going to panic more. And then I think this will come out. And I think it could be good. It also comes out 2 weeks after Superman. So it's a weird spot.
True, but also two cakes, you know?
Well, you do have two cakes, exactly. I think it was like... to me, I would like, well, why would you do that? Just to have like a month and a half apart. Like, have like one comes out at the start of June, one comes out at the start of July even.
True, but like July is the month for movies. Like, it's kids are off school, people are off work. They need stuff to do in the summer. You know, it's a summer blockbuster is what they're going for.
I hope they both absolutely smash it. I hope Superman is fucking great, and I hope this is great, and it all goes well.
Yeah, there's no reason both can't be unreal.
Yeah, why not? Okay, we're going to move on. It's meant to come out 25th of July, by the way. So I think Superman is the 10th of July. 10th or 11th of July.
Mad that Superman isn't the 4th of July, you know?
Actually, yeah, of course.
Surely maybe that's the one.
Maybe there's something that like that day is actually not good for cinema, like because everyone stays home.
I guess,
maybe a weird thing. Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and it involves Magic the Gathering, Shaun. So,
okay,
we've had the World of Warcraft movie. You remember that? It was really good. We've had Dungeons and Dragons. That was actually quite fun.
Still haven't seen it.
They were fun. It was fun. Okay. Chris Pine giving it his all. Magic the Gathering, though, getting its own cinematic universe from Legendary and Hasbro coming up. So we're going to be getting a Magic the Gathering movie, and I think they're also going to go a TV way as well, film and TV.
So they're hanging a lot of hopes on this game or this movie. Or this TV series.
50 million players worldwide, estimated value of over $1 billion. So there is a market.
How much do you know about Magic the Gathering? And are you expecting me to know a lot about it? Because I gotta confess, I don't.
I thought this was going to be something you knew about.
No, I'm so sorry. I've tried to get into it so many times.
You run a board game thing, don't you?
I do, yeah, but I'm into the Warhammers and shit.
Oh, Shaun, you've let me down.
No, I know there's land cards. You tap them.
The issue with this is, right, there's going to be people who are massive fans of this listening to this, and 100%. They're going to kick the shit out of us.
I know people that listen to this that play Magic the Gathering. It's not a bad game. I just don't have the head for it, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was lore, to be honest. And this is on you. You absolutely profiled me of just being, Shaun will know this fucking nerd shit.
Sometimes I have a story and I go, it's Shaun though. You know.
I know of it. I'm aware of it. There's cards behind my monitor here. I just don't know how to use them.
Like, I'm genuine. I was putting this story together and I was like, the lad runs a board game night. Like, I mean, if he's not pulling Magic the Gathering at one stage, what are we doing here?
No, I learn, and then when it comes out, we can talk about the Magic the Gathering movie.
According to Variety sources, there will be an inaugural live-action feature film. Now, they don't really know anything about what's going to happen, but the Russo brothers did produce Magic animation at Netflix. So there's a Magic animated thing coming to Netflix with the Russo brothers involved.
It's pretty good. I mean, like, Arcane did very well, which is the League of Legends animation thing. So I guess that just opened the door for, like, hey, we can just tell stories based in cool game worlds.
And I mean, like, you have the Monopoly's coming out, Clue is coming, Play-Doh's getting its own movie, like, Barbie kind of did that side, and then you have Dungeons and Dragons
so everything else could run.
like Dungeons and Dragons did really well, and then Barbie did really well, and then they're like, okay, these are both sides. Like, let's go all in. We'll all just pile into this.
Henry Cavill's doing the Warhammer series, like.
Of course, yeah. Like, it's clearly something that they're like, there is an audience for this, and I absolutely think so. What's going to happen though is one of these is going to die. I don't know which one it is, but one of them's not going to hit in any way. World of Warcraft came out, was that 2017? Maybe 2016, 2017?
There was two, wasn't there? Was there two Warcraft movies, or am I thinking of something else? I thought it was an older one as well.
But World of Warcraft came out in the middle of, like, the Marvel stuff. Like, it was smack bang in the middle of all that. People were going to the cinema a lot, and that did not do well because it was not a good movie.
So Warcraft was 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think... I mean, it's interesting because some of them do quite well, some of them don't do very well at all. It's kind of, you just have to go do a good movie and hope for the best.
I think this is it, yeah. Like a lot of it comes down to some of them treat the brand as a guaranteed audience, and some of them try and sell it to as wide an audience as possible.
Which is better though. Like, say Dungeons and Dragons, I think they had people who play Dungeons and Dragons working on that movie, because like it's a case where they're taking it seriously, but they're not taking it seriously in a weird way. Like it's not like Lord of the Rings, like big long story arc, but they're also in on the joke. They're not taking the piss out of people that play it.
Yeah, and I think and that's the key. And I think they took the people that they consulted on are the kind of people who were like, they're the dream first exposure. Like, you would meet them and be like, oh, come along, we'll play Dungeons and Dragons. It's easy. And they make it fun and enjoyable. That's the ideal situation for any game. So, like, you need to bring that energy into marketing your movie. It's just like, hey, especially Magic the Gathering, which, like, is the buy-in for that, like, emotionally and mentally is insane. So you need to be like, hey, it's cool fantasy story. That's what you need to lean into.
What you don't want, though, is because there's a buy-in for any of this stuff, like, people are diehard fans of this. And you then run into the issue is, if you're just a guy in a suit who thinks, well, Magic the Gathering makes a lot of money, let's do a movie on it. That is the last place you want to be here, because like you'll just get killed, because then all the regular people who play it are not interested, and the people who aren't interested are also not interested, and then you've pissed off everybody and nobody's happy. Yeah,
you make a movie that no one wants to watch in that case.
You make a movie by survey, but like the people that you're surveying also aren't that interested.
Yeah, and I think and the thing with all of this is like, the worst result is that someone is watching it and thinking, I would rather just be playing the game that I like.
Yeah, of course. It's an interest. We'll see how it goes. But this is like our first step of they're launching this TV and film, so they're going hard at this.
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out.
If it takes off, it's going to drive so many people into playing Magic as well.
Well, I mean, you have the exact same thing with Warhammer. Like, do you think the Warhammer movie will do well?
Yeah, I do, genuinely. Like,
okay,
so
you have to have that belief, I suppose.
Yeah, and like, I'm willing it to do well.
And I think Warhammer has Cavill, which big name, who's clearly diehard.
Yeah,
about it. So Magic also needs a celebrity who's like Cavill level on board. Like, I'm leading the movie.
Yeah, I don't know who that is in the Magic world, but just someone who's real good and real into it. I can look up. There's probably, if we have time, celebrities who play Magic.
Celebrities who play Magic the Gathering. Here we go. And do we then cast them from this?
I think so. Nathan Fillion.
Oh, Fillion's good. A few years ago would have absolutely smashed it, yeah.
Tom Fletcher from McFly.
I do love McFly, but I don't think Fletch has the acting chops.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, he might be good. You might get him in.
Felicia Day. Joe Manganiello.
Joe is the one you get.
Yeah.
Joe's the man.
He's pretty good. Seth Rogen. I'm going to just list a few of these. Patton Oswalt. He'd be alright. Post Malone. Key and Peele.
The reunion. The Key and Peele reunion could be from Magic the Gathering.
Brandon Routh.
Oh,
that's
so we just have Supermen that lead different one of these movies.
I think that's the key to making it successful.
You just need to keep bringing Supermen in.
And also, I recognise him for his work as the Atom in Arrow.
Oh, for God's sake. I love Legends of Tomorrow. So, Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news. And this news, I designed the last piece of news because I thought you'd like it. And I designed this piece of news because I thought I'd like it.
Oh, I know
Shaun,
what this is.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot with Sarah Michelle Gellar is in the works at Hulu.
Fully confirmed. She came out and spoke on it as well.
Fully confirmed. She has come out, and not only is she now back in it, but Chloe Zhao, who you might know from Nomadland or Eternals, and Oscar winner Chloe Zhao, is set to also be involved very heavily. They're working on it together.
Right, so you're saying it's going to be a flop.
I'm saying this is madness that they've done this, but also Chloe Zhao is what a fucking get.
Oh yeah, huge.
Amazing.
And similar question to you that you asked me about the Warhammer thing. Do you think this is going to do well?
No.
Oh, Expand on that, please.
Well, it's not. I would be more cynical than you, I would say, in terms of the things that I like. And I would say it's always worse when you come back around. I can see a situation where you have Sarah Michelle Gellar's Buffy character as like the Giles character looking after all of the other Slayers. Because Shaun, I don't need to explain this, but the end of the season, there was so many of them. They gave like all of the women who had the power to be Slayers
Women?
Women have powers.
What? No, I'm excellent.
You're caught between both of your bits.
I know, yeah. So she's like leading a team of Slayers now?
So it ended. Spoilers for a show that ended in 2004 or whatever it was. But it ended that, like, how they overcame the last big bad is they did like this magic thing and they gave everybody powers. Every woman who had the ability to become a Slayer got the powers, right? So you've got like fucking hundreds of thousands of them now across the universe, across the world.
Too many.
It was too many. And then they were just had like a super team and then they kicked the shit out of everybody.
Surely they outnumber the vampires now.
Yeah, so there shouldn't really be an issue.
Now they're bullies.
But they've also technically given loads of people who maybe don't want to have superpowers. So then you maybe run into that.
So you think they're going to try and unpack this thing that's just been left as, it's a nice ending for you.
20 years later.
It's like, oh no, we fucked up.
There's these psychopaths running around ripping people apart.
We need vampires. We need vampires now. We have to go make more vampires.
To bring back the vampires.
Where's David Boreanaz? Was he a vampire in it?
Oh, don't talk to me, Shaun. You know Boreanaz is a vampire.
Of course he's a vampire. Look at him.
Look at his hair.
He's got vampire hair.
He's Angel. Of course he is. He had his own show. It was fantastic.
Who's the other one?
Oh my god. Okay, alright. Which one are you thinking of?
The
one you'd like would be Spike.
Yeah, Spike's my man. Yeah, that's
bleach blonde hair.
Yeah, real cool.
Yeah.
Bit of
that's
a dick.
Spike. Bit of a dick, but kind of a lovable dick.
Heart of gold at the end of the day.
Gold at the end of it. So that would be Spike, although he does do some terrible things.
Oh, God.
Later on in seasons, yeah, it's hard to come back from. But this is, I mean, I read this and I was like, Sarah Michelle Gellar must have had this offer, I would say, hundreds of times since this finished. And they've probably always tried to get it back on board over and over again. And so seeing this come back, it must be a good pitch. I've got to assume that Chloe Zhao must have come with a serious idea and opportunity here.
It's just like, I know how to make this work.
I'm Oscar winner Chloe Zhao and I want to make a Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing and you're Buffy the Vampire Slayer and I want you to come back.
Now Buffy was like 20 half-hour episodes a season, right?
20, I think, yeah, it was old TV format, so like 23, 24.
So what I'm thinking is 6 episodes and they're an hour and a half each.
6 25-minute episodes on Netflix. It's the old classic. I mean, just back in the day, like 25 episodes, 42 minutes long, just you're ploughing through them. There's no moving about.
The best value of a DVD box set you've ever unwrapped at Christmas.
And then you had Angel come out. That was another 5 seasons, Shaun. We were all laughing.
How will this impact that one bit of Angel you really like where he says, I'll take the dragon? Have we considered that?
That is such a niche joke. That is... I don't think it'll impact that at all. I don't think it'll impact that at all.
Is that how Angel ends?
That is the last line in the whole show. That's actually the last line in both shows. Because Angel ended the season after Buffy ended, so like the very last line ever said I'm gonna call it the Whedon verse, but Whedon is known dickhead Joss Whedon. But the last line is I'll take the dragon. I think it's I'll take a dragon or I'll take the big one.
Yeah, something like that. But so wait, so that happens, and then 19 years later, Is he just going to pop? Oh, I got the dragon. I hope that's his only line.
Well, no, there was comic book series, but they weren't very good. So
I got you that for Christmas one time.
No, it's just it's true. But like, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know what environment this makes sense in. Like, especially with what's happened. Is it going to be like carrying on? Joss Whedon is not involved in any of this.
Outstanding.
So that's a positive. But I'm sure they probably have to pay him a lot of money to get the rights to any of this stuff.
Do you get Alison Hannigan back?
You're just reading the cast on IMDb, but yes, you would.
The only thing that's open here is the list of our lovely, lovely patrons, okay?
Alison Hannigan will surely come back. I'd say if Sarah Michelle Gellar comes back, I think then you got to bring all the rest of them back. The issue becomes Boreanaz and James Marsters are vampires and they're not meant to age. And I've no offence to the two lads, but it has been 20 years in real life.
True. So you're saying extensive surgery?
I'm saying they might not come back. But they could, I suppose. But it just seems like they're meant to, like, say what they look like in 2004.
Yeah. And well, you could say like, oh, and you made everyone slayers, it weakened our
vampire. And the two lads look great. I will say that. I've seen them at
They're not listening, it's fine.
Go on. The two lads are fantastic, right? I love how this is the one thing I'm actually pumped about. I'm like, let's go.
It's the only time I've seen you excited all year.
The Batman got pushed back 3 times. I'm so sad.
The hope left his eyes.
The hope left my eyes when the Batman guys pushed back. That's my weird niche love of I can name like loads of episodes for these two shows from 2001.
You're insane. What's my birthday?
It's in the year. It's definitely in the 12 months.
Usually they are.
Yeah. It's around the summer.
Summertime, round the
summer solstice.
155-star reviews, please.
It's around the summer solstice, so if it's as a birthday present, that'd be very helpful to Sean if everyone could do that. Sean, I'm going to finish off this week with some news that I'd like to touch on, and that is Marvel have a rumour that they could be bringing back Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. Good or bad idea?
Bad idea. Bad idea.
Seems weird.
Did all those bad things.
Well, but then he got... No, I think it was dropped.
It was dropped? I've not read up on the case enough.
I think it was dropped.
But they've just kind of written Kang out well enough. You know? So why would you scramble to get him back in and just confuse things altogether?
So, I mean, Sorry, my apologies. I can only legally come in and say he was convicted and later sentenced to a year of domestic violence counselling. That was when Marvel fired him the first time around.
Yeah, and then there was some other thing that was thrown out or something like that. But he was convicted of being a bad
yeah, so that's when they got rid of him. And now it's kind of died down and there's rumours that they're bringing him back, which I feel like is weird. Just go with the way you're going. Yeah,
stop course correcting. Because the survey said so, you know?
You've course corrected already. You may just go with it. Just like you've gotten rid of him. Just move on. You brought in RDJ's Doom. You paid him $7 trillion. Just go that direction if you want to. You have Galactus now. He's much bigger and he's got way smaller shorts.
And lads, like give it 3 to 4 years, right? You can just do all the X-Men villains and you'd be grand.
Yeah, you'd be grand. They've got loads. Let's bring in Magneto. He's the big bat.
Yeah. Also heavily implied that in the Ultimate Universe, Iron Lad Tony Stark becomes Kang the Conqueror, and it's like it's just like it's basically confirmed.
So you're saying RDJ conquer Kang again?
You know the dude who plays young Tony Stark in Captain America: The First Avenger, young Howard Stark in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yes,
I want him to be Kang.
It's perfect. Saying nothing to anybody. See if anyone picks up on it.
Just drop him in. Be fine. Do the roadie thing of like, I'm here now.
I'm a scroll.
Fuck.
So, Shaun, that's it for this week's movie news, which means it's time for some Weird News Wednesdays. Weird News Wednesday, Shaun. Weird News. Please play the jingle. We used to do it on Wednesdays. I'm sorry, just guys.
It's
Shaun
old
gave out
habits,
to me, and
you know?
While that jingle was playing, Shaun shouted at me.
I did beat him with reeds.
Shaun, so this is Weird News. What do we do here?
You spent the week gathering all of the weirdest news stories from around the world. You're about to read them all out to me, a man too busy running the numbers to look at any weird news.
And how are the numbers looking this week?
Pretty poor, I'm going to be honest, Conor.
We're struggling.
Yeah. A lot of 71s in there.
The worst person to ever run the numbers is you.
Do you watch Severance? Have I asked you this?
No, but I haven't. But you said you're watching it all at the moment.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing of like they're just sorting numbers. That's all they do. And it's just like sometimes the number you'll see it and it'll feel scary, you know. So you put it into scary, and I'm like, that's my entire like visual
These
language.
These are my people. Like, if you don't know, Shaun has a thing where he puts numbers onto objects, and then there's like feelings and colours onto animals and stuff. It's
fairly sure it's autism.
Is it? What number is autism? Because he has that one.
It's an 8.
So it's undiagnosed, okay? But Shaun has a thing.
Peer reviewed.
So Shaun, we are going to start off, because you are such a special little boy. We have a segment here on the show that's called Shaun Solves. And if anyone hasn't heard Shaun Solves, how it works is I find a problem that was sent into an agony aunt somewhere in the world, and I give it to Shaun. Just idiots get these letters, right? And I send it to Shaun then to say, that agony aunt, whoever they're not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Shaun will solve the problem because he's the wisest man I've ever met.
I've solved every problem that's ever come across my desk.
Yeah.
I have a 100% success rate, and I'll bring you a body in 24 hours.
And if you don't know any of the other ones he's done, it is in our top 10 weird news stories.
It's about 5 of them, because I just go insane.
There's about 5 of them in that, because that's from our top 10 weird news stories of 2024, voted on by the listeners. They clearly think, Shaun, that you're good at your job.
See, like the reviews are in, folks.
Yeah, the numbers are looking good. I've ran them, and they are strong.
It's a 63, let me tell you. It's a good number.
What number is Buffy?
What number is Buffy? 44.
Strong.
It's good.
Same backwards and forwards. So Shaun, we are going to start off Shaun Solves with a headline that caught my eye. I poisoned my roommate. Now what do I do?
Oh. Okay, it's very open-ended, I will say. The
thing is, right, that this woman has come on and she's said how the whole ordeal has unfolded. She gave her side of the story, explaining that she was living alone originally, but she decided to allow her friend, only known as Max, to move in to help save money. They split the rent. All enough, is good. Yeah. While he was fine at first with paying his half of the rent and the utilities, she said things started to go awry, Shaun.
Very well pronounced.
Thank you very much. That's a real old cut when I said Ori that one time.
And you got absolutely rinsed for it.
When she said things started to go awry when she would come home after a night shift and realise her food had gone missing.
Okay.
I even started to label everything I made with my name, but my food still kept disappearing, which pissed me off. The woman said she confronted him multiple times, but he apparently denied it over and over again, saying it wasn't him. The final straw was when she cooked some ribs before her night shift and was going to reheat them when she got home.
Looking forward to them all shift.
I mean, that is a clever move. Cook it before you go, then you get back, just put it in the microwave, all is good.
Big fan. I've started making 2 portions of dinner, and then it's dinner for the next day as well.
Very good. So she was going to make them when she got home. To make sure they didn't go missing, she detailed how she had put her name on them and had even texted Max asking him not to eat them, along with a photo of the container with which they were in. Now,
okay, covering all your bases.
however, when she got home from her shift, Shaun, they were nowhere to be seen. Now frustrated, the livid woman snapped and pointed the finger. She says no one lives here other than me and him, and he doesn't have a lot of friends. I know for a fact he doesn't have anyone staying over, so it was definitely him, even though he keeps telling me it wasn't. Plus, I even caught him eating my food a few times before this. so Max, it's not looking good. In a disturbing move then, Shaun, the woman says she had reached her end point.
This sounds like she's already listened to Shaun Solves, by the way. This is exactly the kind of shit I suggest.
She decided to, in her own words, mess with him by adding some almond powder to leftover food, knowing, Shaun, that he is severely allergic
Trying to kill
nuts.
the man.
The troubling confession reads, I then, basically, she made mac and cheese, a strong meal.
Yeah.
She calls it her trap meal. I gave this guy a chance to spare his life.
Jesus
I
Christ.
told him not to eat it. I even made sure to tell him, hey, that mac and cheese is mine in the fridge. Don't touch it. I then sent him a photo of the container, and then I texted him, and even to remind him, do not eat my mac and cheese. 4 times he was told.
This is insane.
But when she got home, she saw that he'd eaten the food, and then received a furious phone call from his mother a few hours later, telling her Max was in the hospital with an allergic reaction. She was screaming at me, accusing me of being a monster and poisoning her son. I told her it was food not meant for him, and sent her proof of the text messages that I had sent to him to prove that I was not going to share it. I told her to read the messages I sent him, which showed the container and my reminder. His mom then started berating me for being careless, asking why I would have something that he can't eat in the house. I got pissed and screamed into the phone that he keeps taking my food, and I don't know what else to do. But now he is recovered in hospital. He did not die, and he's moving back here.
Why is he moving back in? Why is she letting him? Get a new roommate.
What do I do now?
Everything has almonds now. You just have to start eating shit tons of almonds.
You're just going to have to kill him. There's no other option.
What? Like, where does it end? Because I would keep putting almonds on everything. And he could, like, if he keeps eating it, that's on him. He's a cunt. If you're getting text and there's photos being sent and you're told in person, don't eat this, it's my food.
Yeah.
Why eat someone's food as well?
Well, I mean, that's step 1. Don't be eating anybody's food.
Don't be eating anybody's food.
Like, it's bad form. It's not great crack. But I love that, like, she just did. I think everything you make from now on, you say, I put almond stuff in it.
Yeah.
Just, you can eat it if you want, but you're going to die.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that adds a level of, like, danger to it, because now he's like, she might be lying. There might not be any almonds in it. But then again, she might not be lying. And there might be almonds in this.
Do you want to risk it? Honestly, the first time he did that, I'd have him out.
Well, like, kick him out of the house.
Yeah. He's a thief. I'm not living with thieves. She found him eating her food.
That was the funny one. She's like, I can't really pin it on him until I walked in several times and he was eating my food.
Also, the mother's a dose. It's probably her fault he's like this. Wasn't feeding him properly or whatever.
So, I mean, her big worry, Shaun, here is that she still lives in that house. And technically, they can't really do her for attempted murder because she was very clear to say that that was hers and has the text messages to prove that they were hers. So then you have a situation where he's moving back in. Things are going to be awkward. Things are not going to be right.
Everything has almonds in it now. That's the rule. I'd be getting almond toothpaste if I could.
But, like, you're not giving it to him.
No, it's my stuff.
Yeah.
So he's the one doing he's doing a wrong if he starts eating my things. Because I just love
you're
almonds.
saying that you only eat the stuff, but you're not trying to poison him anymore. You're just saying everything on your side of the house is nut-based.
Yes. I'll get a separate fridge if it comes to that. Just so I can say, look, it's my stuff. I would go that far. And then if he still keeps eating it, I break his teeth.
Because there's just something dodgy about eating somebody else's stuff when they've like labelled it and like cooked it themselves.
And when they've asked you not to.
That's so bad.
And when you're the only other person in the house.
There wasn't even like a third roommate.
No.
You were like, they were also doing it.
I can't believe anyone exists like this.
Well, clearly. And I mean, he's so determined to eat her food. He's come back from the hospital a stronger man. He's now back and he's just moving back in.
I'd get him to move out.
But how? Legally, what has he done, technically?
Stolen from me.
I suppose, yeah, do you get him for that? But like, just, he was like, it's in the communal fridge. Well, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Is that rock solid?
You can't. Society is built on spoken and unspoken rules.
Yeah.
And the rule that you don't fucking take what doesn't belong to you is fairly key.
The main thing is don't be a dick. And I think taking somebody else's food, especially if they've cooked it before going to work, which, real baller move. If you're pulling that off, fair fucks.
A round of applause for that, fair play.
Yeah, like, we had dinner on the slow cooker while we were at work there last week, Sean. I felt so accomplished. I got home at 6:30. It's fucking cooked.
You know what? I wish I could be that person, but I would not be able
like a king.
I would be thinking of the slow cooker all day, Connor.
I came home and I thought, I'm the smartest person alive.
House must have smelled fantastic as well.
Oh, like the aromas. Almond everywhere.
Cold evening.
Put almond on it.
I'll be up. I'll be right up there.
No, Sean, please.
No, Connor, I'm on the
way. Have you ever had anyone take any of your food?
My food? No. No, like when I was living like with like 7 people in college, we just said, listen, we'll all just use the milk that's in the fridge and just someone buy milk whenever they go out because we'll use it. Like, rather than having 7 individual milks in the fridge, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of stuff divvying up is absolutely fine.
You get a 3 litre. That'll do for like 2 days.
For a house full of people, yeah. Who's mainly using it for tea, let's be honest.
Well then you might get a week over.
Not having a glass of milk. What am I doing? Psychopath shit.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you judge people that have glasses of milk?
Do you know what? In the privacy of your own home, you can do what you want. If you're if you're at a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And say, even 2 p.m. on a Sunday, you're in for like a lunch with the family, like a big lunch.
Yeah.
If you're ordering a glass of milk on the side, I was going to say something really horrible there, but I can't. No, it can't be said. It can't be said out loud, Connor. I can't call someone that.
I once, so on my team that I play on, my sports team that I play on, so we finished training one day and we're all like, it was a gym session, right? So we're all like sweating. We come down the stairs and the guy pulls out a carton of milk and starts drinking it.
That you'd have in the fridge, like, not a
carton of milk. And I just remember thinking, it might say more about me, but I was like, the last thing I want right now is a big carton of milk that was in a gear bag.
Some room temperature creamy milk. No, no, thank you.
I was like, I would take like any water whatsoever ahead of creamy milk from a gear bag.
This is very niche, but you'll find it funny. Is that during the snow?
During the snow?
Do you remember the snow we had there a few weeks ago?
By snow, Sean means for other countries that have snow all the time, or maybe Canada, where it's always fucking snow. Yeah. Sean means Ireland had 2 days of snow.
Yeah, but we don't have the infrastructure. And also where I am, it's pretty hard with the snow.
Yeah.
So, people couldn't get out to the shops. Some of the shops are closed and things like that. So my friends had no milk in the house. And they went, because what was open? Supermax, which is an Irish fast food chain where with your meal, you can just get a pint of milk. And they had that for tea and they were happy out.
Do they put the milk in, like, you know, like if you got like a Coke Zero,
yes,
like in the container?
The same cup.
Off.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. That's so good.
And it's a fast food. They're open till like 1 a.m.
Who are those people that are working there?
They're very tired, I will say.
But nobody else was in work.
No. But they were like, so you can get late night milk in Ireland. It's wild.
Late night milk.
Bit of L&M.
So Shaun, your situation here is, just to finish off Shaun Solves, if you're going to kill that man.
I'd find his limit of what will kill him and what will just put him into shock and make him have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, and he has to keep going to the hospital until he learns his lesson.
Yeah. And like, look, is this America? I'm assuming it's America. That's going to get expensive real quick. So it'll be cheaper for him to learn how to cook.
You either pay for your EpiPen or you pay for your hospital visits.
Yeah. How much is an EpiPen per whack, do you think, in America?
In America or here?
Here, like, they're cheap
like
as
a euro.
We play darts with them over here.
Like, I'm juggling 3 right now. Like, I don't even need them.
EpiPen, about 30 to 60, 30 quid in Ireland for one. Right. And then in the US, probably varies state to state, I grant you. $650 for 2. What?
Lads, what we doing here?
Lads, come on.
Lads.
You could get a plane to Dublin for 500
I don't
quid.
understand. I don't get it. I'm going to Japan. That's about half of what I paid.
It's insane.
That's mental.
What are you doing? You deserve better.
You should be allowed to spend 30 quid and get some EpiPens if you want.
And look, if you're stuck, they'll probably give you one if you just ask.
If you were really stuck, if your face was massive.
If you run into a pharmacy being like, please, they're not going to make you put your pin in
They'll give it to you. Then afterwards, like, here, lad, you owe us 30 quid, just to let you know, just to remind you.
And then you'll be like, yeah, fair enough. Thanks for keeping me alive.
Right, Shaun, we're going to have to move on. Shaun is still in shock about
America's insane.
Every time we look up anything to do with like medical stuff, we're always just like fascinated.
What's their government up to? Let me Google that.
Oh no! Shaun, I am bringing back your favourite person in the whole world for my next story.
It can't be right.
Now, who is your favourite person that we've ever covered on a weird news story? Now, this is how well you truly know me, because when I say your favourite person in the whole world, what do I mean?
The person that makes me the most angry in the whole world.
Yes.
Is it Brian Johnson?
Not Brian. Brian isn't here this week. It's the other one.
The other one? Who is it? I'm confused. You're giving me
man who spent over 11 grand to become a dog.
Oh, this fucking... I don't see him as human. And not in the way that he wants.
Man who spent over 11 grand to become a dog opens zoo where other people can be animals with him.
It's getting too big.
What are we talking about, Shaun? This is a great idea.
No, again, there's parties and websites for this kind of thing, alright?
You have to toe a very fine line of like, everyone to their own, but also, when this lad's in the street making people rub his belly, that's making people uncomfortable, I assume.
Yeah. A big part of the culture is consent, and if you're just walking around, people can't decide to not look at you.
The consent is not there when you just roll onto your back and like, here, I deserve belly rubs because I'm a dog.
Yeah, and why are you making a zoo for people?
In a world where almost anything is possible, Shaun, sometimes people's dreams are a little more extreme than your average Joe.
You're going to find this man in Japan.
What?
You're going to find this man when you go to Japan.
I'm going to give him a high five. High paw. Instead, so we've seen all the other chaos that is botched surgery. But thankfully, this isn't what this man has done. Instead, he paid for a custom suit to slink into so that he could be a border collie every single day. And that's not the weird part of this story, because we've already covered that part. The Japanese man called Toko bought his hyper-realistic costume all the way back in 2023.
Wow,
so that he could
haunting me for that long.
And live his life as a dog. His antics went viral. The suit, which took up to 40 days to make, is all you'll see when you look up his YouTube content, Shaun. You're probably subscribed.
I've looked it up and my algorithm is still fucked.
But now he's opened up his new venture, his new idea.
What kind of capital does this man have? He's just doing shit left and right.
How does a man who's dressed as a dog make capital, is the question.
I think there's probably an answer, but I don't want to dig too deep into it.
Whatever it is, it must be making a fucking fortune. But now he's opened up a zoo where other people can become animals too. You could be admiring a silverback gorilla, and then it suddenly pops his head off, and underneath is just a lad who's just walking about on his lunch break. You know how it is. Anyway, with this so-called zoo, presumably you'd know that there are people within the suits, so it'd be part of the allure. So Shaun, he's opening up his own zoo, and he's then come out and given a statement saying, I dreamed about becoming an animal since I was a kid. When I grew up, my dream came true in the form of a costume. Fair play to you. I'm no hassle with that. Okay, when I was young, I thought it would be nice if there was a service where you could become an animal. Okay, what can I do to help others who feel the same way that I do? So, in that way, he's opened the zoo.
Noble.
Now he's getting nice, Shaun. So now he's going to open a zoo. And for people to pay to go see humans dressed as animals.
I'm trying to be very careful here. Because obviously, whatever makes you happy, and you should pursue that within the limits of not hurting anyone.
It is a lot of words that you've just said. Fair play to you.
I don't think anyone's being hurt in this, right?
Yes.
But I just feel opening a zoo for people isn't the best course of action.
Say that sentence again.
I feel opening a zoo for people isn't the best course of action.
So anyone who wants to be a dog can reserve their spot 30 days beforehand, and all you got to do is pay £250 30 days beforehand, and then you get to dress up as a dog for 180 minutes.
And people watch you be this dog?
Yes.
See, this is where it gets weird, right?
Because he's getting all of the money from that. Yeah. And you're not getting anything.
No, you're paying for the privilege. And also, look, I'm just going to say it straight out, okay? There's certain corners of the internet and human society in which dressing up as animals is done for sexual pleasure.
What?
Oh, Conor.
Hang on a minute. What?
And even if Toko, is that his name?
Toko, yeah.
Even if Toko's nobles are purely driven by a love and desire to be an animal, in the purest sense of the term, I don't feel you can guarantee that everyone who takes part would be similarly good-natured.
Oh, it'd be like opening a zoo for a step-family.
It would be exactly like that, yes.
And you might have noble intentions.
Of course.
Stepsons, stepdaughters, stepmothers, stepfathers. Come along.
It feels, for want of a better word, it feels like a lot of exposure. To put out in the world and to invite people to actively look at.
It seemed risky.
There's going to be one freak who ruins it for everyone, is what I'm trying to say.
Because there always is one dickhead who's gonna just show up. Now, he says that he'd like to expand his range, not just from dogs, but to pandas as well. But he has a hard stance on cats and foxes because they're too small for humans to try, and it would be super weird to see them 5 times their natural size, Shaun. That's super weird. So they don't want to do that. They only want pandas, I suppose gorillas and apes, a zebra, if you have 2 lads.
Gorilla has to be the easiest one ever though, right? Because a gorilla just looks like a guy wearing a gorilla suit.
That's the easy way out. Yeah. But if you're paying him 250 quid just for 2 hours, well, 3 hours to just be an animal for him, and he's also getting the gate from the zoo, this is a really good business venture from him when you think about it.
100%. And it would, to be fair, the engineering on those suits is no joke, so that's going to be a chunk of change right out of the gate. Now, like, is it all realistic animals? Or is the furry community welcome in this? I
think the furry community is not welcome here. You
think so?
I think Togo strikes me as a man. He's all about class. He's all about the high value. He spent 11 grand on a dog costume. You're not showing up in like a leotard and like some makeup, and he's not into that, I don't think.
Oh man, so have you seen some of these fursuits?
I know, but sorry, Shaun.
No, let's move on.
I haven't. Go on, Shaun.
I watched a video series of a dude building a fursuit helmet. The engineering on it is insane.
Okay.
He's vacuum forming and like shaping all this stuff. It's wild.
But I would then raise the point, and no offence to the lads. My point is, you can't have one that's different than the rest of the people in the zoo.
Oh, Conor, how you've wandered into my trap. Because what do zoos, and I would say 90% of establishments in Japan have?
I don't know, Shaun. You tell me.
Mascots.
Okay.
Cartoon versions of real life things.
Yes. So you're saying you want a mascot zoo?
There gets to be one furry as the mascot for the human zoo.
It's not a human zoo. It's a human... Would you say a human zoo or an animal zoo? Because they're trying to be animals.
It's a zoo experience, but you get to experience what it's like to be in a zoo.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying get a furry, but you can only pick one. So it's like fierce fighting in the furry community to get this role. This is going to be...
the claws are out by.
The claws are out, and they're going to be good, I assume.
There has to be like a fur con, and like you can do like the fur con in Japan. And then you enter a big raffle, and then you get to be the mascot of the zoo for a while. But you can't make it weird.
You can't make it weird. Right? That's the rule.
It's the only rule. Well, there's a couple of rules.
There's a few rules, but that's the first one. And the second one is don't tell anyone about this fucking zoo.
Yeah, where is this, boy? Is this like in the major Tokyo metropolitan area?
Right in the centre.
Oh, God. Oh God, it's in the Imperial Palace, actually. I
just think this man is just getting more and more he's made a living. He just has the YouTube channel. He's making millions. He's ready to go. People will go see this stuff.
No, and again, I have no problem. It's just...
Sounds like you have a problem, though, Shaun. It does sound like it.
There's something in there, okay?
Yeah. There's something in your brain that says this man shouldn't do this.
It's... Maybe I'm jaded. And
I think you're racist.
I can't... What? What?
Racist towards this one man and his
Name
dog
any
costume.
race.
Dog, man and dog. Man and dog costume.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
I fucking hate him. I just think his kind brings trouble. That's all I'm saying. I just say, so if you want to go see that zoo, you can. Good stuff. We're big shows to the furry community. Someone get in as a mascot.
Yeah.
For God's sake. You're missing out on a fortune.
To add an air of credibility to this.
I think you could get furries to run the whole fucking park, as in like running the candy floss, running the hot dog stand.
The wealth in the furry community is insane.
Yeah.
Like, so they could finance this themselves if they wanted to.
And get them involved. Like, the Disney World people, the Disneyland people, but they're not Mickey Mouse, they're dressed as furries.
Yeah, and Tony the Tiger, he can show up.
And he's all about great. So he's looking great.
It's the second sexiest tiger in the world.
Who's the first?
Angelina Jolie's character in Kung Fu Panda.
And sexiest fish, Angelina Jolie's character in what's it called? Shark Tale.
She's got the anthropomorphized sexy animals down.
It's just her niche. I don't know what it is. It's just very strange.
She's also a phenomenal actor outside of those. Just in case you're listening, Angelina.
Oh yeah, she's obviously fucking hopping off this. So Shaun, we're finishing off this week, and I'm going to go to Florida Man. And because we haven't had Florida Man in a little while.
It's been a minute.
It's just in a minute, and Florida Man has very much keeping with the theme of the episode, because I have Florida Man in Dalmatian onesie outruns troopers, tasers and canines and gets away.
How confused do you think the dogs were?
The dogs were so fucking... They were at the zoo earlier on today. Rattles they were.
The things they've seen.
A Florida man in a Dalmatian onesie escaped the Florida highway troopers in Pasco County last week with one hand already cuffed after a traffic stop. So they eventually caught up with him the following day, but he got away that day from the chase, which is very hard to do. So, Florida Highway Patrol say that they attempted to pull over a reckless driver, later identified as Dylan Keith Devereaux, just after midnight last week.
Okay.
The vehicle took off at a high rate of speed, stopping once to drop off a passenger before speeding off again. The vehicle eventually crashed into a tree, with Devereaux then bailing from the car, before troopers tased him to the ground. Okay, so he's been tasered and been in a car crash.
Surely that's it for Devereaux.
He's also in a Dalmatian onesie at this point. Troopers say that Devereaux then began fighting the trooper in the road after being tased, pushing and struggling with him on the ground and attempting to flee while he was being handcuffed.
Jesus Christ. This man's
They got one handcuff on Florida Man, and then he got away, sprinting towards his residence. The trooper observed him run into the forest and waited for backup. When backup arrived, canines were deployed, and the dogs led law enforcement right through the forest to his home, where they met his girlfriend. The trooper said she told them she did not want anyone in the home, including him, because there's drugs in the house, and she doesn't want to go to jail because she's nothing to do with that.
Wow. So she's just done.
She's done with him. An arrest warrant was filed, and he got away from the dogs on that day. He's been tased in a car crash, fought 2 cops and the dogs, and Florida Man has lived another day.
He must be feeling pretty fucking good about himself. I think the dogs let him off. They saw him as one of their own.
But my question, Shaun, I will finish weird news on this, is... what did Florida Man do next that is the most Florida Man thing to do?
Did he go to the police station to ask to get the handcuffs off?
No, he went back to his house. And the next morning the police went back out to that house and they found him asleep in his bed.
He must... well, I got away with it.
They don't know where I live.
It's Grand Theft Auto rules.
They've got amnesia. They only have one chance, and they tried it, and I wasn't here. So that's how it works.
And I bested them.
He was arrested for reckless driving, fleeing, assault of law enforcement, resisting with violence, and possession of meth.
The longer he went from the original arrest, the worse the list of charges got.
All he had at the start was reckless driving, and then he added all of the other things onto it.
Yeah, reckless driving, which would probably, like, if he didn't have any other priors, which he probably did, it would just be a fine, probably. So
Florida Man, unfortunately, just taken out in his prime there. Just nothing he could do. Dressed as a Dalmatian.
You know, next time he'll get even further. I think he's caught in a time loop. And he keeps doing the same day over and over and over again.
And I think it's the best he's done.
Yeah, this is the best he's done so far. Then tomorrow he's going to learn how to ice sculpt to impress his love.
And she's going to be in skincare ads for years.
Oh, you better believe it, buddy.
So, Shaun, that's it for Weird News Wednesday this week. What Wednesday? I keep saying Wednesday. It's Monday.
It's Monday. Weird News Monday.
It's Weird News Wednesday. It rolls off the tongue. It's weird news this week, Shaun. You can take us out.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. I nearly said Weird News Wednesday. For listening to this episode of Heroes for Hire podcast, we will be back on Friday with Hero or Zero and next Monday with another episode of the show. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. Everyone who supports us over there is an absolute legend. They help us keep making the show, and they also get movie reviews every single month over on Patreon. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, head on over there to check it out. You do also get a shout out for being a patron. So big thank you to Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer, Enthusiast Evanson, New Waffles Who Dis, David Clarke, Dominic, Anna looks forward to the next Irish animal story, Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Frost, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine are your number one Castbox fans. Russ, last week's name reading effort wasn't bad, a solid 6.5, definite room for improvement though. Parfitt. Jackson Brueheim will be attending Shaun's upcoming gum eating intervention. Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon. Ciara Lawler, Judge Leahy, Mikeychairsnumber1fan Shaun is cool and a genius. Ruairi, Pete thinks that Shaun thinks that tall people should be put to work and not allowed recreation or sport. Jack Markham, Barrel of Cheese, Johnny Ray, Hunter Harvard, the Texas Ironman, Donegal George. Lisa wants to hear you say the word y'all. Connor?
Y'all?
Y'all, you all.
You all.
You all.
Just say you all.
How are you all?
How are you? You all?
Oh, my favourite town in Cork? Y'all.
Y'all.
Thank you also to Justin Bowman and Joe Reid. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. Heading over to Patreon if you want to support us there. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @HeroesForHirePod. The 4 is number 4. Facebook is Detective Implements Discussion Group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. Blue Sky is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.